Welcome back to our channel.
So today we're going to be reviewing a resort. So what was it? Last weekend we went to RIU Rios. And so guys, we have all of the tea for you, all of the sauce. We're going to be talking about the good, the bad, the pre-COVID, the now, everything. So stay tuned. Okay, so the good thing about the hotel is that they're very COVID conscious. So they have a lot of sanitization stations throughout the hotel. I don't think you can walk 10 steps and don't see hand sanitizer.
Right.
They also have persons who are just dedicated to strictly cleaning the place. You'll see people as somebody get up out of a chair, somebody go over, wipe it down, all of those things. So that was really, really good. So when you arrive, you drive in and you go under the porte cochere, and then there's some guys there, about 3 guys, and I'm just like, okay, they're just here to help us, but they do way more than that. They take the bags out and then they spray them down. Okay, they spray down the bags, they wipe off the wheels, they wipe off the handles, even for the stroller, they're wiping down the stroller and everything, and then they take you through the sanitization process. But you're gonna say, all right. And then you walk on a mat. It's like a scraper mat that you put like outside, and it's wet. So that's your feet, and they tell you to wipe your feet on it. Then you go onto a dry mat and you wipe your feet on the dry mat. Then they take your temperature. Then you step over to the hand sanitizer. You sanitize your hand. Then you step into a spot on the ground, and there's like an infrared scanner that's right there. So I guess it's taking like internal temperature, whatever the other scanner wasn't taking. And then they lead you in a particular direction to enter the line for check-in. Now, when you enter that line for check-in, there's another hand sanitization station right there.
Hand sanitization station.
So that's 5 times fast. Right? And I thought that was pretty cool. Throughout the process of being at the hotel, checking in, I thought they're thinking about us and trying to keep us safe. Yeah, definitely. And so for us, we got there really early. So we were there from about 11. And so our pro tip for you guys, if you want to go to a resort, if you want to go to Rio during this time, get there as early as you can. Rio specifically, they let you on property as early as 11 a.m. even though you can't actually check into your room until 4. Before COVID, it was 3, but you know, because of all of the COVID measures, they gave us another hour
sanitization.
Of the rooms. So you won't be able to get your room until 4, but you can be on the property from as early as 11. The check-in process is longer. Okay, they are doing so much. We went away, we enjoyed the property, we came back at 4 for our rooms. If Una did see the line at 4, it was crazy.
It was out the door.
There's no door, but it was out onto the road.
Out.
And so we were so happy we got there earlier, because at least we weren't in the line all the way down the back. But the line just to get our cards to go to our rooms was also a really long line. So the entire process, checking in, doing the wiping, getting our keys, that whole process took over an hour. It was an hour and 20 minutes. And then even to get to our rooms, we didn't have anyone to go with us.
No.
So we just took our bags and we were just wanderers.
Where are the rooms?
Yeah, we were Dora the Explorer. Where was the map? To kind of figure out where the room was. But we got there, we used our wits, we used our brains, and we eventually found our rooms.
Okay, so our rooms, we had junior suites, and it was on the 2nd floor. We had rooms that were side by side, so we could just pop across either one, which was good. Before COVID, in the rooms there would be like a mini bar with rum, vodka. In the fridge there was beer and water and juice, but now they've taken that all out. There's still a fridge, but there is no liquids in the fridge. And similar, there used to be robes in the room. There are no robes in the room as well. So it was a really clean room, and you could really tell that they took the time to clean it. I definitely appreciated that. The room also was pretty spacious for what I had expected. There was a sitting area, which was really good. It was separate from, so you had the bed area, the sitting area, which was really nice. And it just allowed for somewhere else to be. In our room there were 3 adults and a baby. In the other room there were 2 adults alone, and we all felt pretty pretty comfortable in the space.
You
You
never
never felt like you were.
squish up.
No, you felt pretty spacious. So
Yeah.
I definitely appreciated that.
You felt comfortable until you tried to jump on the bed.
Yeah.
What was the issue with the bed, Abigail?
Yeah. So they had like put 2 beds together, right? So that was great. I allowed the bed to be a lot bigger,
Yeah.
except for the middle. If you decided to enter the bed from the middle, the bed kind of separated.
You started falling through.
In the middle of the night, you rolled into the middle of the bed, and the
Yeah.
bed kind of separated.
They're very light, so it's
So-
easy to move if you have to move it around.
Yeah, it
But
is.
for that same reason, it was very
It was
uncomfortable.
not. It was not fun.
Yeah.
So the rooms, you know, it's gonna be at least 2 adults. All right, even if it's not gonna be a triple occupancy, it's a double occupancy room,
Yeah.
and those beds are massive. So in terms of for just 2 people, because 2 people could sleep on one of the bed,
Mhm.
one of the 2 beds, right?
Yeah.
There was 1 blanket, one,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, so how is this gonna work? I don't think that they thought that element through.
Yeah. So we actually ended up having to order more for our room because I get cold super easy. So does mommy, who came on the trip with us. So we definitely knew we would need blankets at least for the 2 of us. So we ordered blankets in our room and we
Yeah.
ordered pillows.
In
Then
our room.
they also ordered what? Blankets?
No, we didn't order
They
anything.
didn't order anything.
We didn't order anything. So they needed extra pillows and blankets. And when we went out and came back to our room, we saw pillows in there.
In their
So
room.
I was like, okay, all right. I mean, it worked out because we actually
knew each
went
other.
together,
Yeah.
right? But
But
if
it was a
we
stranger
didn't,
in the other room.
they would have just taken the pillows. You know?
Yeah.
I went and gave them the pillows,
Yeah.
and they didn't get the blankets, so they just brought up the pillows, not the blankets.
But we realized though that there is actually an app,
Yes.
a real app that
After the
a
fact,
friend of ours went to real after us, and at check-in she was told, hey, download this app.
Yeah.
And in the app you're able to order or request pillows and blankets. Which we
Yeah.
knew that.
So that's our other pro tip for you guys. If
Download
you're
the app.
going, download the app so you can know way more and you can interact with them a lot easier.
Yeah.
maybe we would have been able to find the rooms. If we had
Yeah,
that.
Would have
yeah,
been
maybe
able to
they
find
have a
the
map
rooms.
on the app.
Map on the app.
So now we're gonna talk about food.
Yay. Okay, so we actually went to Rio in January,
Mhm.
but we only did a day pass.
Mhm.
So when we went, we ate from the jerk center
Yeah,
and we ate from the buffet.
Okay,
So we got that kind of experience of
Yeah.
those 2. And we also went to, I think, 3 different bars when we went in January. The food, though, when we went this time was... Alright, so before, let's
Okay.
go back to the before.
Mhm.
Yeah. The jerk center was great. You had burgers, you had fries, jerk chicken, jerk sausage. I'm trying to remember, they had hot dogs there separate from the jerk sausage. And it was just great. You could get whatever you want. You had condiments. It was great.
Yeah.
And in the buffet itself, they had so much variety.
Yes.
Their buffet is a big buffet. It's not the largest one of all of the rest of all of the hotels that we've been to, but it's a very good size buffet.
Yeah.
So when we went before, they had something different at every single station. So
Yeah.
that was pretty great.
And then on top of the buffet and the grill, you also had a sports bar that had nachos and other little snacks that you'd eat. Sandwiches,
Wraps.
just if you wanted something
You're
light.
peckish.
Right.
So we were excited to go and try these things again.
Yeah.
So the first disappointment was that the jerk center is not open every day. We were there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Yeah.
And it was only open, I think, on the Saturday.
Yeah, one time.
So I was like, okay, well, we ate from it. It was good,
It was
you know.
great.
It was, yeah, fab. The buffet, though, was a little bit disappointing. 2 reasons. One is that they have to split the buffet in 2
Yeah.
so that they can get through the people quickly while still maintaining social distancing.
Right.
So they only let in certain people at a time, but still so that it can move very quickly. One half is mirrored. It's a mirrored buffet. It's the same thing on both sides.
Yeah, and what I also noticed is that you can't touch anything.
Mhm.
So if you want something from the buffet, you have to hold out your plate and they put it on, which makes it slower, which is why they needed to split it in half so they could actually get through all the people because
Yeah.
now they're moving a lot slower.
Yeah.
Yes.
There. And you have less variety. So
Mhm.
before Jean said that different stations. So if before they had 10 stations, not because the room is split in half, there are only 5 stations.
Yeah.
So there's 5 options. Or whatever. It was just a lot less options of food.
So for example, I think the first night that we went there, we did dinner there, and I was just looking for some fish. There was no fish.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
basic menu, you always have chicken and fish.
Yeah.
You know, and there was no fish.
There was a variety of chicken.
There was a lot of chicken. It was just chicken. Probably like I think they had some beef.
I never remember.
And I thought, okay, all right, maybe I don't eat chicken.
What would
There's
I
no
eat?
fish. Let me look to see if they have like a bean stew or something veggie that don't have any meat. There wasn't anything like that was cooked up. They had raw salads like lettuce, tomato, cucumber that you could get, but I don't know.
So
I
if
thought
you
that
know,
wasn't great.
yeah. So if you know that you're very selective in what you eat, if you have some kind of allergies, or if you only eat gluten-free stuff, right now Rio does not necessarily cater
Maybe
to
not.
all.
Or
of
at
that.
least when you're checking in,
You probably have
you
to
have to
find
say
those.
that
Yeah.
to them so that they might prepare that in mind.
Mhm.
The other good thing that we noticed this time that we didn't get to participate in when we went on the day pass was the specialty restaurants.
Mhm.
They have, I think that overall they have 3 or 4 specialty restaurants.
Yeah.
But because it's COVID time, they only had open 2. When I had called, because I call like almost every day to find out what open now. Do we need to move our dates? Because they're also very flexible in your reservations. So when we went, we found out that the Chinese restaurant was open and the Italian restaurant was open. So we definitely wanted to go to them. Did we?
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of.
We went to one.
The wait for the Chinese restaurant was so long. They are not doing
45
reservations.
minutes.
Yes, 45 minutes. They're not doing reservations. So it's basically first come, first serve.
Yep.
So we said, all right, I'm going to hurry up and go. We reached down there at 7 o'clock. It opens at 6:30. And the wait at that time, when we got there, half an hour after it just opened, was 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And we're just like, kind of hungry now.
Because also they can only allow in a certain
amount
of people.
social
So
distancing.
they got that. Just wait the 45 minutes of basically how long it might take someone to eat
Yep.
before they can let in an exit.
The
Yeah.
positive side is that they gave you a pager. So you got a page, and once a table was available, they would have paged you, and you can come. So you could have continued walking around, doing other things.
Go
back to your room.
Right, I was just gonna say that. And wait for that.
So we realized though, fruits were there all the time.
Oh my God.
So if you love fruits,
So much.
you will enjoy it, and they have local stuff.
Yes.
So you don't ever go to a resort and see stuff like jackfruit.
Or
They had jackfruit, they had guinea, and then they always had kiwi.
Yes.
Kiwi was so good. They had
It's
also
sweet.
easy apple.
Mhm.
It was a
Even
very
the
good spread.
honeydew. The honeydew was so sweet. You don't
Yeah,
know when
it
I'm
was,
finding
it
it.
was.
I was like, this is great. So that was amazing.
Yes. So we really loved the food options, and as we said before, we really loved the grill. So at least for those 2 food options, it was really good. We did though have some not so great experiences with the taste of the food at the buffet. Judine, do you think you can handle speaking about this?
There was one night when I was literally having a headache. I was just hungry, I just needed to eat. And when I found out there was soup, I was like, yes, gonna get some soup, gonna get some food. I sat down, took a sip of the soup, and it was cold. I was just so annoyed. I was just like, I'm not drinking any more of this. Let me take a bite of the food. Also cold. I was like, excuse me. I got up and I went up to the front and I asked if they have any microwave or something to warm up the food. The guy go, yes, it's here, and just point behind him. I was like, okay. So I eventually had to speak to the manager and say to the manager, hello sir, I just came off the buffet line, there is no food that is hot. I need some hot food. So he went and spoke to somebody else, and that chef came and apologized to the table. They went and got us new food. We didn't actually have to go for it, so that was pretty great.
Yeah.
But it was just disappointing the fact that we'd have had to do that to get
hot,
hot food.
Yes. We realized because we were there Friday to Monday, the food on Monday is actually so much better.
Amazing. I was saying to them that we should have stayed until Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like scrap Friday, and we should have sat there to Tuesday.
Yeah.
That is a pro tip. So that you can get the balance between trying to go to a specialty restaurant if you want and going to the buffet, because in the week the specialty restaurants are not open. So if you want that balance, I would recommend to somebody doing the Saturday to Tuesday.
Yeah.
So you get the best of both worlds.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. So we did realize that the food during the week was very good.
But the drinks.
The
drinks.
We look a little bit like alcoholics. We're not alcoholics, okay? We're not.
The drinks though. The drinks though. They're
Okay, Abigail.
they have several bars. All the bars the drink tasted good.
Yeah.
Yes.
It wasn't like you're saying, yeah, we'll have to go back to that
That
bar.
one.
That's
No.
true.
All the bars.
That-
are
'cause
just
we went to 2 different pool bars,
Mhm.
the lobby bar and the sports bar.
Yes.
So those are the 4
So-
bars that were open. We went to all 4 of them.
Yeah.
So, Janine, what would be your recommendation drink?
This is really hard. I'm gonna recommend it is a sweet drink, and kind of fruity as well. The melon ball, if you're gonna go. It's a green drink, and it's served in a long glass.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yummy. Catherine.
So for me, I really like drinks that are kind of close to milkshakes. So if you also like those kind of creamy drinks, definitely get a hummingbird.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
Abigail.
For me, it would definitely have to be two drinks. Okay, I'm sorry. Either the green Paras, which is more like a juice-based beverage, and it's green Paras, or the Rastaman. That was another one that was good. In terms of non-alcoholic drinks, though, guys, do we have any recommendations?
I would say I think they call it the Miami Vice, where you mix the pina colada with the strawberry daiquiri. That is pretty good, but it's more like a slushy. It's a slushy kind of drink.
Catherine.
Well, for me, I really enjoyed just the stuff that you get at breakfast. So, like, you know, they have the variety, the apple juice, the cranberry juice, the ginger ale, that whole spread that was really really good. And we found that we got a little addicted to Nescafe in the morning.
Yeah, we did.
Those were so good. As I say, I'm a creamy kind of girl.
Yeah.
So like their mocha, choco, whatever that thing
Mocha
they call,
choco.
it was
Choco
really
latte.
good, really really good.
For me, Shirley Temple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love my Shirley
Yeah.
Temple.
Yeah, really, really nice. So activities. So if you are a person, you love to go to resorts because you want to try a whole heap of new things. You want to go on a zip line. You want to go into the beach and do motor sports. You want to be able to go snorkeling and use a million different pools. This is not the resort for you.
Or not the time.
Yes,
Okay.
maybe not the
All
time.
right. Okay.
Alright, maybe not the time to go
Yeah.
to the resort.
Most resorts that we go to, you already know that the motorized sports on the water, you're gonna have to pay additionally for them. They're not complimentary. But things like hobby cat, things like kayaking, what the other one name? Snorkeling. They'll probably like give you the mask and tell you can swim out at this little area here to get the snorkeling. Those things would usually be included, but this time some of those things, the hobby cats was available. That's the one where you pedal, right?
No,
Which one is that?
I don't know. The hobby cat is the one where you sail.
The sailing one.
Yeah.
Well, that was available, but you'd have to know how to sail. Like, nobody's gonna go with you.
Yeah.
And in the past, we have gone on it, and somebody would have carried you out and carry you back in. So we're like,
Let's
we
not
don't know how to
try
sail,
that.
Right. So really, your options, if you didn't want to pay to do something in the sea, would be to do the like a paddling thing,
pedaling one. That's what I
paddling
want.
one,
Yeah. We'll find a name.
or kayaking. So if you wanted to do something really fun in the sea, you would definitely have to carry some extra money for that.
Yeah.
However, they did have their water park open some days.
It was open the Saturday and the Sunday,
Yes.
I think. And that is just the adults water park.
Yeah,
There's a
kids.
water park for children that was closed.
Yeah.
So if you have kids and you want them to wade in the water, probably not.
Not right
Not
now.
right now.
Not right
When we went for the day pass though, we did
was
go.
open.
It was open. It was
really
very
fun.
fun
Really
Yeah.
fun.
for the kids. You know, you
Yeah.
think that they'll really enjoy
It was really fun for me too, not just the kids. Yeah. So we found that before COVID, they had a lot more options. So you had the water park for the kids. You had your water park open all the time. You had this little play area, Rio Land for the kids. They had these little rooms that you could go into and you could play stuff like Jenga and different games like that. Also in the sports bar, they had 2 pool tables. So if you like pool, you could play those. A lot of those are closed right now.
Yeah.
And we can understand it's a contact related thing.
Yeah.
So they can't really be monitoring it 24/7 right now. So the activities were decreased, but they still try to make you feel like you could have some fun. So usually when you're lounging around by the pool, if you've been to a resort, there's usually a time that if you're like me, you start hiding your face, you start going for drinks, because random people from the resort are coming up to you saying, let's play this game, let's do
Water
this.
aerobics, 10 minutes.
I'm not
Why are
about
you
it.
sitting? Get in the water. Let's do this water.
Connect 4, 5 minutes.
Nope. I want to lie down.
But positive side, for this resort at this period in time, they had to cut some of those games down. So you had one set in the morning, which was 1 or 2 games, and then another set in the afternoon about 3 o'clock, which is once again another like 1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
So it wasn't throughout the day, a lot of activities, which was pleasant for us.
But if you like them,
then you're gonna miss
then
it.
but at least you'll still have 2 options to play during the day. So they tried with that option as well.
Nightly activities, you know, normally in the night after dinner, there's always a show of some sort, and there's normally after the show the club will open. So with the nights that we were there, they had the shows. But that's something that we asked about because Mommy really likes going to these shows. And we went 2 of the nights and they were good. It was a good performance. I really don't know if Rio has a club separate. A friend of ours went the week before we went, and they said what happens is almost like the stage is facing this way for the performance in the night, and then when that is finished, they go to the stage behind, and kind of like DJ booth set up and disco lights, and people would get a chance to dance there. So maybe that is how it is all the time. When we went for the day pass, we didn't stay until the night, so we don't know what that was like.
So lastly, where it relates to activities, the pool, you have to be pretty careful about that as well, because they have limits to the amount of people that can be in the pool at the same time. When we wanted to go into one of the pools, we were actually told, this pool is closed, even though people are in it, because they've reached maximum occupancy. So you might actually find that you want to go into a pool and there's none open on the property for you because they're either closed, or they've reached maximum occupancy.
Because when we went, even there are 2 sides to the property. So there's a side with the big pool. There are 3 pools on that side. And for all the days we were there, it was only the big pool that was open. The other 2 were closed the entire time we were there.
Right. And there was a day that the big pool was not even open.
Right. So they closed that whole side and everybody had to go to the other side. The other side has a medium-sized pool and a small pool. So already you see medium-sized compared to large, already less people in that pool. So those 2 pools filled up pretty quickly. So there was a time when we came out, and by the time we wanted to go back in, the signs were their pool is now closed, and I have to sit down and wait until somebody come out, and you know, so that was a little bit annoying. Another thing that we noticed was they have a convenience shop. Most resorts have a little shop where you can buy some little knickknacks that you might need, that you might forget, or might run out of while you're there. So that was pretty cool too. What I did find a little bit annoying was when you're shopping, I don't know, I'm a tactile shopper, right? I like to hold this and read the ingredients and say, okay, all right, yep. You can't touch anything in the store. So when you come in, somebody walks with you. What would you like to see? They literally hold up the bottle, read this, they turn it to the side, okay, and they turn it so I could read it. And I take long to shop, so I kind of felt like, oh God, I'm holding up this person. Other people might want
because
to
you
come
have
in.
to decide which one do you want. It was sunscreen, guys, and sunscreen is a thing that you need to know what the ingredients are.
Baby should work for the baby. So we're reading these things, and it's like, I just felt like the person was also a little bit annoyed, like, all right, just pick one now. And I was like, I could understand, because if I had to hold something for you to read the fine print, you know these ingredients are so small. And then we chose one, said, all right, we're gonna pay. I took out a Jamaican card. It was an NCB card.
Card.
And they said, I'm sorry, we don't take local cards. It has to be a Visa or a MasterCard. And I was like, this resort is in where? It's in Jamaica, right?
When we checked in, we
used a Jamaican card to check in, right? So how come all of a sudden to buy something at the convenience store you cannot use the Jamaican card? And if memory serves me right, the machine was an NCB machine. But it's fine. It's fine. We just said, you know what? Principle.
We don't need it.
We're not gonna use it.
We don't need it.
It came out very black.
So guys, this was really our view of Rio. But overall, guys, would you want to go to Rio in the state that it is right now with the restrictions again? Abigail?
Yes. But I would do it the weekend into the week. I definitely wouldn't do full weekend. I would have to do parts of it in the week.
Jillian?
I want to say no.
Okay.
I don't. I wouldn't go back to Rio. If I was doing it, I'd probably go to another resort with the same splits.
Okay.
That you said, but I don't think I'd go back to Rio. No.
Catherine.
I think I would also say no. I really enjoyed the drinks at Rio.
Yes.
But I feel like overall it was a lot of being told no and a lot of being restricted, and I can understand because I appreciate you taking my health seriously, but it really dampened on the fun that you could have.
Well, I guess we got a 1 out of 3 from us.
Thanks guys for watching.
Yes.
Tune in next week for another